Lita. I hope you're all amazing, and if you are not, I hope my video puts a smile on your beautiful faces and makes you laugh. Hope all you guys have been well, and yay, I'm on time with a video. I just want to let you guys know before I get into this video, there's no point in me doing like a whole update video because I feel like I've done enough updates like recently, but just regarding my channel, I am not going to be continuing a segment in my channel which is Lita's Anime Thoughts, which is basically giving reviews. They basically are reviews. Why am I calling them thoughts? They are very, very time consuming. They are, and it's not that I don't want to like cover like favorite animes and stuff. The reason I started it was because I wanted to cover like, you know, unknown animes that I love, you know, obscure kind. I feel like now I'm just gonna do it in a different format instead of me doing a review talking about, you know, the characters, animation, blah 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 blah, as we all know that how reviews go about these days. So that is not going to be like happening. Of how I cover animes, I liked how I did that video for last week, of how it was formatted around like a blog article. Not all the time, if I talk about a certain anime, it will be formatted around a blog post. It won't. I'm just going to a new approach of how I like tackle animes that I really love. So I just wanted to let you guys know before I get into like the main bit of this video. In this week's video, I decided I wanted to cover a topic that I felt inspired from last week's video, talking about favourite animes. Like I admitted last week that my favourite anime now of all time is The Vision of Escaflowne, and it got me thinking about an article I wrote sometime last year, which is picking anime favourites, not easy, as usual. I will link it down below for you guys to go have a read. Honestly, it's a really short post. It's really not even that long, and somehow it ended up getting like 47 likes, nearly 50 likes. It's like the most likes I've got on one post, and it's so short. Again, I was inspired from another blogger friend, Scott, that I mentioned last week as well. This is all related to last week. That he wrote a post talking about how people pick their anime favourites, and that is what I felt like I wanted to discuss today. So this video is not going to be like heaps long. Sure, if you've seen the following image, which will appear on your screen now, is Crying Luna, and that is everyone's answer for when someone asks them, what is your favourite anime? The majority are who are in this image right now of Luna crying. That used to be me until I realised, you know, Vision of Escaflowne is my favourite anime of all time. For my reasons alone though. But, you know, for some people can answer that question with such confidence they can, you know, like, you know, a lot of ones I hear, this is just for example like Full Metal Alchemist, One Piece, all the big shot animes, a lot of people I've talked to in the past or interacted with, they've said that is their favourite anime of like all time. You can never put a number on how many actual favourites you have. There are just some that are like eternal favourites. I have eternal favourites. Just because Escaflowne is my favourite anime of all time doesn't mean I love them. It means I love certain animes for different reasons. You can go back to revisiting certain animes that you used to love. Like one anime I really, really loved way back in my early days of anime was called Elemental Jellade. And it was like a fantasy show, a little bit of romance in there. It was about, you know, people turning into weapons, and I absolutely love that anime. And I actually went and revisited the anime last year I did, and from when I first watched it, so excited, fangirling, you know, the syndrome of what we go through, I realised that watching it how I am now, 10 years later, or a few years later, I was not that excited about it. I realised I'm not in love with that show as I used to be. It's still a favourite, but it's not a show that I like crave to like go rewatch. When you've been like watching anime for as long as I have, change comes in order, you know, with all the, you know, seasonal anime that we get, you know, it's just ever-changing of all your anime favorites, honestly. Honestly, I'll tell you guys, last year, I think for my 1 year celebration on my blog, I kept my blog going for a year. I decided I would make a top 25 anime favorites list of all the, like, 25 favorite animes that there were. I began writing it and then I never went back to it, and I realized when I was writing my picking favorite animes not easy piece, I didn't want to write it. I can't do this. I can't write this. It's too hard. Even if I wrote a top 50, I don't think that would be enough. It wouldn't be enough to convey of all the favorites that I have. And it's too hard for me to even write favorites or lists now of things. That was back then, or even now, I kind of have thought it over. I know I did one video, I think it was 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, talking about favourite females that I feel had a strong belief in their goals and dreams, that sort of thing. That kind of list is easy. I guess when it comes to looking back on when I wrote my top 10 favourite females in anime, also did a video on it. Half those females that are on that list now, it has changed. It's made me rethink about who is actually my favourite females and what reasons are they for. And at the same time, I've hesitated to write a top 10 or do a video on my top 10 male characters. That would have to give some thought, and it'd be really, really hard to break it down. So that's when I decided that how I would go about writing about favorites, and that would be in they would be called favorite pieces. That's why I started a blog segment. It's a recent one. I've only wrote one piece where it's called Annie Limelight, and it's all I guess you could call it character spotlight, character analysis of why I love these characters. So to compensate for talking about favorite characters in anime or manga, that's why I created this segment. And the first piece I wrote, I felt proud after writing it. I'm like, this is a compromise instead of writing one huge ass list. But that doesn't mean I want to do a video, and I also want to write pieces on unknown animes, obscure ones. I still want to do recommendation lists on that. I will do lists of that nature. They're ones I do want to do. But in terms of picking favorites, really hard. And how I would go about breaking down favorites for me, again, I would be talking about them individually is how I do on my blog, honestly. I've changed how I do the format of my reviews now. How I used to do it was by characters and sound and animation. Now, honestly, I put a bit of my personal perspective into my review. Also with talking, just tweaking in there about, what I thought the animation did. But putting in subheadings, integrating the main points of the positive and negative I felt about the show and the message it sent or whatever. So making all these little changes that I do on my blog and also here on YouTube now, mostly on my blog, honestly, it's helped me get through the process of having a chance to talk about favorites. And still, I've not even got halfway through the margin of favorites that I have. And that's why it's, again, really, really hard, I feel, even for some people who are bloggers or YouTubers, to dwindle down their favorites. I mean, it's not... I applaud to those that can answer the question of what is your favorite anime with such confidence. And like I said before, the industry is so ever-growingly changing, and new animes are coming out. You're going to get newer favorites by the weekly you are. I remember that last year I watched Amanchu. Oh god! I'm talking about Amanchu again. I could talk about that show forever and ever. And instantly it became a favourite for me. For various reasons, which maybe eventually I will get around to talking about in a video. But Amanchu became a very, very close favourite, it did. And that's just how it is with anime. You're going to get with anything really. You're just gonna get new favorites. You are. You know, some people have that expectation of you at least having one of the few big animes like Bleach and Dragon Ball Z in your favorites, and you'll just get like bashed on that you don't. Have your own taste, and you cannot cater to those people to just plonk one of those like big animes in, which I've seen some videos in the past of people just do that, so they feel like that they're not going to get bashed on. You can't cater to people's needs, like when you make top 10 or top 5 videos mentioning like really recent animes, or they have to be favorites for your reason. You can't cater to people's animes that they love. That's, you know, that wouldn't be truthful in what you like about a certain show or anime, or the ones that are actually in your list. So don't listen to those people. But yeah, guys, you might as well let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about this? Do you have trouble picking out a anime favorite? If you do have a anime favorite, I would love to know, because I would love to see what is actual people's like favorite anime of all time. It'd be interesting to see what is the broader spectrum of people's interest in anime, so please comment those down below. As always, guys, don't forget to subscribe for more craziness, and if you want to keep up with my anime antics, you can follow me on my blog at Litekina Anime Corner, and you can follow me on Twitter, Kino Reviews, where I am all the time. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!